Good afternoon, everybody. It's me again. Kind of happen to have a thought about what life will be like after the pandemic's over with, whenever that is. There's no guarantee it's going to happen anytime soon. Um, but I figured I'd come on here and kind of muse about what it's going to be like after the pandemic is over with. And my first thought is to movie theaters. There's a lot of concern that the movie theater industry pretty much will be killed off by the pandemic. Everybody stayed home. They're watching first run movies on television, on HBO Max, on other services and whatnot. And I think it's the time that the movie theater industry has to look at themselves and go, how can we get people back in there and give them more bang for their buck? And where I live at, there's only one movie theater. It's an old, frankly run down movie theater. The guy that owns it, I don't think has the money to really do what he needs to do to really bring it to where it needs to be, because most people go out of the county to watch a movie if they want to go to a movie theater, because it's only 4 screens, and most new places are at least 8, and much more than that. So for places like this, guys, once the pandemic's over with, I really don't think he's going to survive that long, because people want to have an experience in the movie theater. They don't want to just go to the movie theater to watch a movie. They want to be comfortable, and there's a lot of competition out there. And the best thing I can probably tell this guy is either find somebody to team with and build a brand new movie theater like the Biggie and Gaffney to make it an experience, or just close it up and sell it, and maybe somebody else will come in here. The movie theater experience has to be more than just going to a movie. Just like going to a ball game at the professional and college level, even in the minor league level, is not just going to a baseball game anymore. You've got other stuff going on. Because there is so much competition out there, you have to make it an experience. You have to make it more than just appealing to the diehard baseball fans or football fans or basketball fans or hockey fans or whatever. You have to make it an experience worth enjoying. An experience that's going to make people want to spend more money than just on the tickets and on parking and maybe a little food. So, in my viewpoint, if I were in the movie industry and I had to say so, first of all, the movie industry rebounds is to invest in making theaters an experience again. Secondly, re-releasing old films at an affordable price and making it to where you have an experience with them. I think that the days of having first-run movies just in the theaters is a thing of the past, because I honestly believe that they're going to find out they're going to do much more business online with downloads and such than they are with going to the theaters, because people like here's the thing about technology. You have in many people's homes right now the ability to have a quality movie experience at home. Why would I want to go to a movie theater, watch a movie, and have to deal with people talking during the movie, having to go pay outrageous prices for for food, when I can go to my microwave and pop some popcorn for pennies compared to what you get at the movie theater? It's making it an experience. And I think it's important that the movie industry understands this, because if they don't, they are in a very serious heap of trouble. Okay? Talking about sports, what about the stuff that's not professional and not top college entertainment. High schools and small colleges are going to have to do a similar thing to get people back in. Even before the pandemic, you saw, or I've seen, I've noticed, and talking to people who go to the games on a regular basis, have noticed that crowds aren't what they used to be, especially in small towns, because there is competition. Why pay to go to a football game at a high school when I can watch it on TV? When I can watch a game on TV that's probably going to be better. Here's the thing. When the pandemic's over with and crowds are going to be able to go out to games again, high schools are going to have to find a way to bring people into the stadium. Because there's going to be people who are going to go, hey, I don't like going out that much anymore. Not because I'm afraid of getting sick, but because, hey, it's cheaper. It's more affordable. And after a hard day of work, why go out somewhere and just watch a football game? So to the local high schools, I say this. Start thinking right now of how to improve the experience of a high school football game. And not just go, well, the game itself is enough. It's not. Possibly look at bringing in bands for pre- and post-game celebrations. Plan stuff like that. Maybe a fireworks after a particular game. Think about things like that. And not just stay with the tried and true, because they're not going to work in the long term. You want people to go to these events, to spend their money, to go to support the team, but you just can't expect them just to go and watch a game anymore, because that's not how it's going anymore. You want people to attend your event. You're going to have to give them a reason why they should attend the event. Because this isn't the 1980s again, when in a small town you can just have the game itself and that serve the purpose. You're going to want to have an entertainment factor to it, because most people are not going to be necessarily true to their school anymore. In our local area, we got 3 high schools, actually 4. Thomas Jefferson Academy down in Mooresboro, although that's technically on the line, and they're basically a charter school. So there's the 3 traditional ones and the 1 new one. And, they're not the only entertainment anymore in a small town. Used to be Friday nights. That was the place to be. Not so much anymore. So my humble opinion is, I think you're going to see a lot of high schools in rural communities who are struggling to generate interest start looking at what minor league baseball and minor league hockey are doing to get people through the turnstiles. And that means, and they don't have to do anything outrageous or anything like that, but having live acts, having live music, whether it's a country group, whether it's a rock group. I'd avoid gospel group because of the establishment clause, thank you, of the First Amendment. Just because you want to avoid that lawsuit, avoid all that controversy. And plus, I don't think people go to a football game to be preached at, okay? Just my 2 cents, But having a local band play there, and that could get them to the game, and maybe have them play, and then maybe partner with a local establishment and say, hey, after the game, we're going to be at such and such a place, and so the adults can go there, you know. Now, not going to be anything radical and say, oh, you need to have alcohol sales at high school football games. No, 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 no. No. There's the whole alcohol licensing thing that's a real pain for any restaurant. So, yeah, I don't think high schools want to deal with that to begin with. Oh, man, sorry. Burped. And this could work for other sports. Baseball, high school baseball could be really big here if they gave people a reason to go out. And I think, you know, on a Friday night baseball game, maybe even a Thursday night baseball game, give people a reason to go out. You know, look at the bands at your high school. There are kids with bands at high school. And if they understand the rules, they can't play naughty music, you could have quite an experience, you know. Even during the week, a school night, you know, you could have, say, a afternoon baseball game or an evening baseball game, you know, have a local high school band play at the game, you know, set up and tell everybody and say, hey, come in early and, you know, listen to the band and such and all that. So doing these kind of things can help generate more interest. Having theme nights for baseball games. Adapting ideas from minor league baseball and major league baseball, major league sports, minor league sports to high school and small colleges makes a lot of sense because the competition is intense. And you're trying to get people right now who are used to staying home and watching Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and Peacock and CBS All Access or whatever they're going to call it. I think they're going to call it Paramount Plus here in the next few months. It's amazing to me that people they're going to think, oh well, we don't have to do that because high school shouldn't stoop to that level. No, it's not stooping to the level anymore. It's basically about making sure you are able to survive in the post pandemic era, because you're going to have to try and find a way to get people to leave their homes, like I said earlier, to go to your events. Same with restaurants. I could see a return of themed restaurants, of making the going out to eat more of an experience than just, hey, you know, let's go to such and such a place. Because, and this is something that a lot of people are kind of not realizing right now, is that restaurants are suffering right now, but they are adapting. A lot of places that beforehand didn't really emphasize carry out and delivery service are now into that. You know, there are a lot of places that have survived the wave of closures and whatnot, and they've managed to find a way to increase their business. And once the pandemic's over with, they should keep that, because there are going to be people who don't want to go out to eat, but who want your food and would like to have it either delivered to their homes or be able to be picked up on the way from work to home. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. And, you know, for many, many ways, in my humble opinion. But like I said earlier, with movie theaters and sporting events, it's not just going to be about simply going out to eat. You're going to want to have people want to go not just to eat, but to have an experience. And I could see themed restaurants making a comeback. And I think one idea I had around here was we're a very conservative area. And even though we have liquor by the drink and alcohol sales in restaurants in the towns in Forest City, Spindale, and Rutherford, generally speaking, most people who go there who would rather have an option of not having, because they can take their kids and they don't have to worry about alcohol sales. I've always felt wanting to do a sports restaurant, basically a sports bar without the bar, basically. Restaurant food, have the games and all that, where family atmosphere, where people can enjoy watching the game. You could do something like that. Small towns, places outside of town limits where the county doesn't have alcohol sales, but the cities do. You need to find a way to compete. And I think that's something to be considered. You have to be inventive. You have to be willing to change the way you do business, because if you don't, you're not going to make it. Because right now, a lot of people don't seem to get this. They go by the assumption that people are going to change back automatically to the way they were doing things before the pandemic. We may eventually get back to that, but you also have to realize that we've discovered that it's kind of cool being at home, watching a first-run movie on your television screen, which is probably 50 inches or whatever, and with a great sound system. So why would you go out to a movie theater when you can watch it in the comfort of your own home, eat what you want, have a great seat in the house? You have to make it an experience. Same with sports, same with going out. The whole nine is you have to change the way you do business. It's like with the retail industry. If you're a small business and you're just wanting to do like you've always done, after the pandemic's over with, I hate to break it to you, you're gonna lose business. People are going to get used to the idea, hey, if I don't want to go in and get what I need, I should just punch it up on an app and be able to pick it up there. If you're smart, you'll look into pickup options. You'll look at apps. You'll look at delivery services. Especially if you have a big bulk, if you're doing furniture or whatnot. It's the way things are now. And you have to cater to the customer. You can't just assume that once the pandemic's over with, they're going to want to come out and buy. Sure, there will be some that do. Almost assuredly. It's like I tell people all the time that say, well, Walmart's only going to have self-checkouts from then on. Yeah, Walmart home office would love to completely get rid of cashiers and just have self-checkouts. It ain't going to happen for one simple reason. People will steal them blind. I don't care how many great cameras they've got. I don't care how many security people they may have. And plus, there's always going to be enough people who go, I don't want to go through with my weekly grocery bill for my family and have to do it all by myself. Plus, premium stuff is going to make a comeback. I can see baggers at grocery stores becoming a thing again. I can see having a bagger take your groceries out to your car and putting them in your car become a thing again. Full service stations become a thing again. Instead of just handing your cash over or your card over, you can simply punch up an app, pay for your gas there, they fill it up for you, do the whole 9 yards, blah, 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 blah. You don't even have to get out of your car to fill up your tank. And I think that's going to make a comeback. That's one of the things, if I had the money, I would open a full service station around here and put good service and have people are trained to go clean the windshield, check your oil, blah, 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 like they used to do in the old days. But we got away from that. Now, I'd give them the option if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can still get your gas, but you don't have to get out of your car and all that. So, innovation needs to take place. But to me, I think there are a lot of business people who don't want to do that. They're like, we've got a great service. Why do we have to change? Circumstances are forcing you to change. It's this, it's the way things are. I look at the local grocery stores. Only two actually have delivery services through Instacart. Aldi and Bilo. And Bilo is going to be closing the local store here sometime later this year. I think April, So you're going to be stuck with Aldi. Ingles does not have a delivery service. Walmart does not have a delivery service around here locally. At least not yet. And Food Line, which is the only other grocery store besides Aldi we have, does not have a delivery service. And of those three I mentioned, only Walmart has an online pickup, and even then you got to do it reserve a spot a couple of days in advance. So if you and people are going to love that option because, and I'll tell you the truth, it's very lucky Walmart went into that, because if they hadn't, they'd be hurting right now. So, and once this pandemic's over with, people are going to, these businesses are going to see, well, we don't have to do this anymore. No, you're going to have to keep it up, because people like convenience. Not everybody's going to want to get their groceries like that. You're going to have people who want to go in and see the meat, see the fruits, see the vegetables, see compare the products, and basically do the in-person experience. But there's going to be a sizable amount of the people in your consumer base who want that convenience. So basically being able to go to their phone, punch up their grocery order, and have it delivered to their car so they can go home. And I've seen Dollar General get into the pickup thing. I've seen Family Dollar get into it in some places. I'm not sure if up here's done that yet, but some places they have. The smarter stores are going to do a lot of pickup and delivery business. Either contract with some place like Instacart or whatever, and team with them to generate business. Because if people can get it in their homes, they will be more than happy to fork over their money for it. And you have to make that decision. Yes, you'll probably have to pay fees to whatever service you use for your delivery. You have to look at the possibility you maybe want to do it. I can tell you right now, you're probably going to see local delivery services so they can undercut Grubhub and DoorDash and all that, so they can make it more affordable for local businesses. And you got to be flexible. You can't just rest on your laurels and expect to be successful. You may be a great little restaurant that has done things the way you've always done them, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, people are going to go, hey, I like the idea, instead of going out for lunch, having lunch brought to my workplace. Maybe brought it home because I'm working from home. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes. I think you're going to see some returns to the way things were, like with full service stations. I could see workplaces go back to having cafeterias in their big workplaces so they don't have to go out for food, or have an option where you can order food ahead of time and have it delivered and such. It's You're going to see a lot of changes from this pandemic stay after in the post-pandemic era. Now, when that will happen, when we'll be finally over with, is it's like the war on terror. We're never going to know when it ends. Some may argue that it's over with, nope. But the post-pandemic era, when it comes, and hopefully it'll be later this year, sooner than later, but the realization is we have to be ready for the next one. Because there will probably be a next one, and be prepared to deal with that one. It doesn't necessarily have to be COVID-19. It could be something completely different. Something possibly even more dangerous than what we've got right now. So, and businesses will have to react to that. But we have the greatest flexibility right now for businesses, especially small businesses, to deal with that. You have to learn. You cannot stay in your lane, so to speak, and go, well, we've done this for 80 years, 100 years, whatever. Sure, that's great. You may have to alter the way you do things, alter the product, alter the way you present the product to the customer to get your product to your customer. Because if you don't, you may not have that business. Movie theaters have to change, or else they're done. If you have, I could see a comeback of drive-in movie theaters, big time. Why? Because you make them into events. Maybe have a concert option. Maybe have, if I had, I can tell you right now, if I had the money. By the way, I got to remember to buy some lottery tickets. Oh, I got some ideas. If I won the lottery, I'd find people that would be willing to work with me and to present these ideas, but I could see in this area multiple screen drive-in movie theaters, also having an outdoor concert venue. Not like for big, gigantic acts, but local acts and small acts, something like that. To where you could go. And there's going to be so much change after this. We know that. I mean, it's natural. After 9/11, we changed the way we did things to a certain degree. After when World War II started, after World War II, things changed. This is a change of life. We aren't going to go back to pre-pandemic. People have changed. You got to get used to it. People are going to stay home more for right now. And even if they don't, they're still going to want to have those conveniences of going, hey, I want to stay home tonight. I want to order in, and I don't want just pizza. Okay, I want to have, and local restaurants, if they're smart, will cater to that business. It's all about creating more business opportunities, and this is one of them. And you've got the smart ones will survive. It's like with the minimum wage raising. The smart businesses will be able to adapt. The ones that don't adapt will die. It's that simple. Things happen. Change is hard. Change does not mean risk isn't avoided. You may make a bad choice and your business goes under even though you had the best of intentions. But if you don't change, it goes under anyway. More likely, it goes under anyway. Anyhow, I decided to get on here to do some musing. And also I got to probably do another one later today to catch up from the weekend. I had to pull a double yesterday. I'm off today. You could say I'm off every day, but that's beside the point. So I'll probably do one other one here. I got to do some work on my writing. I'm a little bit behind on that, but no biggie. Anyhow, I'm going to get away from here, and I'm going to talk to you fine folks later. Until next time, good night, good luck, and may the good news be yours.